If you're thinking about moving to San Antonio, Texas anytime this year, then this video is for you. And what I want to do in this map tour video is provide you with an overview of the San Antonio area because you may be overwhelmed of just where to start. Alyssa and I have helped many people just like you looking to relocate to the San Antonio area. So if that's you, you're going to want to stick around because we're going to start off by zooming out on a map and give you context as to what is considered San Antonio, what's considered the far north side of San Antonio and the far south side, and we'll even talk about what's considered the hill country. I want to talk about all this before we dive into some specific hyperlocal areas because there are some differences if you're not familiar with the area. And we'll even take a look at some areas that our clients have even relocated to. So let's jump into the map. Okay, so taking a look at the map, what I want to do is zoom out just a bit and take a look at what's considered the surrounding area of San Antonio. Some of our clients don't like the city feel, but they do like to have their space. So they don't mind the commute of 30 to 40 minutes. So let's take a look at what consists of that criteria. So on the far north side, north of San Antonio, you have small cities like Bernie and Bulverde. Now, these are smaller cities that are growing in popularity, and they are about 35 minutes away from the center of downtown San Antonio. Now, I will say that commute time is, as of this moment when this video is being recorded, on a Sunday evening. So I will say that as far as far south of San Antonio, you have cities like Pleasanton and Floresville, maybe even Stockdale as well. Now this is going to be a lot of farm area, and just you can see on the map here a bunch of greenery. That's just going to be land in general. We'll talk about dissecting that area here shortly, but those are going to be small cities that we find some of our clients relocating to. As far east, we have places like Seguin, Stockdale, mentioned that one already, Lavernia, as well as St. Hedwig. St. Hedwig is being built out pretty rapidly, and we have a new grocery store of an H-E-B here off of I-10. Now I talk about the grocery store there, which in Texas is H-E-B, and I talk about this specifically because as far as real estate is concerned, you know that if H-E-B is developing, that means there's a lot of growth that's about to happen. And so you could always know where the growth is happening based on the grocery store. And as far west as we want to look at, you have places like Castroville, and then you have Hondo. Hondo's more about an hour away from San Antonio, but Castroville is about 40 minutes away, but a lot of growth being built, a lot of new construction communities as well. So did want to highlight on that. And just a quick break from the video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Frank, and my wife Alyssa and I, who run a small husband and wife real estate team here in San Antonio, Texas, where we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you looking to buy homes right here in San Antonio. So if that's you, don't be shy or hesitate. Just give us a call, send us a text, or send us a quick email. That way we can help you make a smooth move right here to San Antonio. Now back to the video. Now what I want to do now is go ahead and zoom in on the map of San Antonio. And what I want to do is actually break down the highways and interstate highways of San Antonio just to get you orientated to how to travel through San Antonio. So let's do just that. So San Antonio is rather easy to commute. It can look very overwhelming, but it's actually quite simple, especially when you look at it on a map as we're doing now, right? So you have the center of downtown surrounded by two major loops, and we'll talk about those. So here in the center of downtown San Antonio, you're gonna have your condos and your high rises, and you're also gonna have a major tourist attraction area, right? You're gonna have your Riverwalk, you're gonna have your Tower of Americas, your Hemisphere Park, as well as the Alamo Dome. So when you have concerts coming into town, you have artists coming into town for concerts, that's where it's gonna be, just right here, located right there, just on the east side, just on the outside of that Highway 35. Now, the two major loops that surround the center of downtown San Antonio are going to be Loop 410 and Loop 1604. Now, there is conversations being had of the third loop being Highway 211 over here on the far west side of San Antonio. This was actually just connected, but about 3 years ago, maybe 4. And since the connection there, they've extended all the way past 16 to Highway 90. That development, that corridor has just been blowing up with new construction communities ever since they connected the roads, right? It used to stop right here off of Petranco and used to stop right here off of Culebra. But this connection here really put things in the spin for everybody when it comes to new construction communities being built. So that, like I said, there is conversation being had of 211 being the third loop of San Antonio, but of course that's way into the future, 10 to 20 years possibly, who knows, but there is a lot of growth out here. And so now that we understand the loops of San Antonio, let's talk about the interstate highways that kind of run through the center of downtown. So the first one that I want to talk about here is going to be I-10. Now that runs diagonally through the city. Now this interstate highway here connects the north side of San Antonio all the way to the east side, which can get you all the way to Houston. Now Houston is about 3 hours away from San Antonio, but that's I-10 for you. Now what I do want to do is throw in Highway 90 as well from Castroville. Now Highway 90 kind of interchanges into I-10, turns into it, if you will, into I-10. So it's one continuous long interstate highway, but that's I-10. Now the next interstate I want to talk about is going to be 35. Now 35 over here on the northeast side of San Antonio is going to be Austin. Now 35 connects Austin, runs through the center of downtown San Antonio here on the left side, and runs all the way southwest towards Laredo. Right, so that's what I-35 does. It connects the major neighborhoods of downtown to, from New Braunfels and such others like that. Now Interstate 37 is going to be here on the south portion of the downtown area. Now it links the downtown San Antonio area to Corpus Christi and other major industrial hubs, if you will. And then so if you're looking to spend a day at the beach or a week, it's going to be our go-to for beach access. So that's going to be places like Port A, Galveston, Mustang Island, and of course South Padre Island. Now that's going to be about, like I said, 2 hours away or so, depending on the day of travel, but that's what that 37 shows. Now Highway 281 is another major interstate that runs north to south, and it runs from the north of San Antonio, connecting the hill country down to the downtown San Antonio, and runs here on the east side of downtown. So those are going to be your major arteries of San Antonio, everything that cuts through and runs through the city I wanted to touch on. Okay, so now that we understand how to dissect San Antonio on a map, let's take it a step further and say that if you were to visit here in San Antonio, and if you're going to be flying, you're more than likely going to be landing into the San Antonio International Airport. Now that's going to be on the north side of San Antonio, just north of 410, east of 281. That's going to be where you're going to be landing in. Now, if you were in the military, if you're relocating, if you're PCSing, or if you're relocating because of family members that are in the military, let's take a look at some of the bases here. So we have 4 bases here in San Antonio. The first one's going to be Lackland Air Force Base, right? That's going to be over here on the far west side, San Antonio, just south of 90, east of 410. The next base is going to be on the north side, which is going to be Camp Bullis, right? A big training facility. Okay, so the next base on the list is actually going to be Fort Sam. Now, Fort Sam is going to be here on the east side of San Antonio, just inside Highway 35 and Loop 410. And of course, the last base that we're going to have here is even further eastbound. It's going to be Randolph Air Force Base. So if you're PCSing, if you're relocating to San Antonio, and you have some military members in your family, you can understand exactly what area they may be looking to relocate to in order to have a decent commute time to their base. And hey, if you found this map tour extremely helpful, I wanted to let you know that we put together the ultimate San Antonio relocation guide, which is a 40-page PDF where we go over everything in terms of hot areas, fun things to do, common school districts, and just generally good to know Texas information like we're going over here in this video. So if you would like to get that guide, go ahead and click in the link in the description below and you will get all that information you could possibly want. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. Okay, so what I want to do now is take San Antonio and divide it into its sections. Let's take the north side for example, which is considered from Boerne all the way to downtown, and from downtown up 281 to Bulverde, right? And so here in this corridor is going to be places like the Dominions. You have Chavano Park, you have Hollywood Park, you have Stone Oak, you also have Chavano Park, if I haven't said that one already, Castle Hills, Terrell Hills. As you get closer to downtown San Antonio, you have some more historical homes. But as you move towards the northern region, you have a lot of hill country land, right? So you're definitely going to get this views. You're definitely going to get the sceneries of the hill country here in this area. But one thing I want to note is going to be pricing here within this area, right? So let's put Austin and San Antonio on the map together. Right, so from San Antonio to Austin is roughly about an hour and 15 minutes away, but Austin and San Antonio have different pricing when it comes to home affordability. And let's go ahead and take a look at Sabre and get a little bit better perspective. Okay, so what I did is pull up some statistics here off of Sabre, which is the San Antonio Board of Realtors, right? They have some information on the different markets here within Texas. Now, let's take a look at general pricing home affordability as far as let's say the median price of a home here in Texas. So as you can see, and we'll zoom in here, right, we're going to take a look at the county. So here in San Antonio, we're actually known as Bexar County. In the orange, you have Austin, which is considered Travis County. Over here in the green is going to be Harris County, which is Houston. And then you're also going to have Dallas County, right? Obviously Dallas. And so as you can see, just by pinpointing Austin and San Antonio, right, Bexar County and Travis County, you can see the pricing affordability, the difference there with the median price average of a home. For what Bexar County has is $290. Austin is about $550,000 for the median price of a home. Now, you can see that just based on the data, right, I could say it, but I'm a real estate agent. But the statistics show here that San Antonio, amongst all the major cities of Texas, has the most home affordability in the market when it comes to home purchases, right? You're going to have $290 comparison to $550. Dallas is going to be $387,000, and Harris County is going to be $330,000. So with that being said, Austin, Travis County being $550, and San Antonio being $290. I like to put in perspective that the closer that you move towards Austin, right? So the more north you go from San Antonio, the more you start to see and feel Austin home prices, right? And so we take a look at that in new construction and in pre-owned homes. The average price of a home, I would say in the Boerne Bulverde area, is about $450 plus. Right, I would say even venture to say 500,000 or so. Now that's the average of what I'm looking at. That's as far as home affordability. Now here on the far west side of San Antonio, right? So it extends from I-10 to Boerne all the way left to about Castroville and Hondo. That section of area is going to be considered the far west. You have what's considered Alamo Ranch over here just outside 1604. And in the most recent years, I'll say Alamo Ranch has definitely caught the attention of several thousand people that have relocated in this area. A lot of new developments because of the Alamo Ranch area. You have your entertainment and shopping areas. You have a lot of dining as well. And of course, it's next to Government Canyon State Natural Park, right? So if you're looking at mountain biking, if you're looking at camping, Government Canyon is definitely one to look at. But since the expansion of 211, a lot of developers have built already along that way, especially with a golf course here off of 211 and 90, right? You have Perry Homes, you have Briggs Ranch Golf Club too, which a whole bunch of communities are being built as well with Centex and Pulte and KB Homes, right? Several different builders in the area. and they have a average entry point from about, I would say, $250,000 to $340,000 as far as base prices of different builders. We can talk about that in a separate video and dissect the pricing of each builder. But I do want to say that, as you can see on the map, a lot of this white area, right, color on the map with a lot of its major roadways are areas that are actually well developed already, right? But as we look over here on the southern region of San Antonio, as well into the southeast side, you're going to have a lot more land, and so the affordability rate is a little bit more competitive, right? It's a lower entry rate as far as home affordability here in this area because of how underdeveloped it is. I would say that in order to get access to a grocery store, to a bunch of shops and dining and restaurants, you would have to go over here in the 37 highway and travel from Elmendorf. Those that are looking at Floresville, is definitely going to be a commute, right? About 40 minutes just to get to those amenities, right? So consider that if the home affordability is more reasonable here on the southeast to south side. Just understand of what area you're choosing to live in. But I do want to mention that over here, just south of 410, right outside of 410, is a community called Vida. And this may put things in better perspective as well. Now, Vida is going to be a new development, right? Now, it has been built out for the past 2 years or so, maybe 3. But you have builders like Perry Homes and Highland Homes, which are high-end builders that have placed their stamp on the south side of San Antonio when no other builder had previously. But what has happened is that now that it's grown out, and I believe they're on their 3rd phase here, being built out just right outside the steps of Texas A&M University, you have other home builders of like Lennar that are actually building within that same community and utilizing some of the same amenities. But this area is soon to be built out with a hospital that is being actually constructed on as we speak. They actually have it's a university hospital. They have surrounding areas. It's going to be obviously Texas A&M University. You also have the Toyota plant, as well as Caterpillar, right? The construction excavators as well. And so those companies are moving out here because of the area and because of the land opportunity. And you have Amazon that have also built a plant here not far away. So a lot of growth being built out on the south side of San Antonio, and because of those high-end builders have made their stamp in there, other home builders will be looking to build even more so out towards this direction. If you're in San Antonio, or if you understand developments out here, you'll know that the only other land to be built on is going to be over here on the east and the southern side of San Antonio. So just something to think about, whether you're an investor or whether you're looking at relocating in general. Those are going to be areas of interest. But as you see here over on the far east side, right, it is just going to be complete land. And so this is going to be a lot more of a flatter farm and ranch land, if you will. It's definitely going to be a different scenery when it comes to the north portion of San Antonio because of the hill country, right? That's what you're definitely paying for, comparison to farm and ranch areas of the far north, the far east side. And of course, because of the 2 bases over here on the northeast side of San Antonio, Fort Sam, as well as Randolph Air Force Base, they do have a bunch of new construction developments being built out here as well from different places like Legend Homes, right? You're also going to have Centex as well being built out here into some of these newer communities. Hopefully that kind of put things in perspective here when taking a look at San Antonio. And guys, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I just want to mention that if you are interested in relocating to San Antonio and you're trying to get a better understanding of the actual communities that you're able to explore and possibly get into, definitely feel free to reach out. When you reach out, what we'll do is get on a Zoom call, kind of do something of the same sorts of getting a map tour and kind of dissecting where your interests are within your family of your commute time towards groceries, towards your job. And if you're looking for a specific area and feel, we can definitely kind of pinpoint that for you and kind of save you some time versus doing it yourself. but that's what we're here for. If you're looking to relocate, feel free to reach out to us with the information on the screen with a phone call, text, or email, and we would love to help. I hope this video helped, and we'll see you on the next video.